Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we will see the design and development of this beautiful dashboard from start to end in Tableau software. And our today's topic for this design is road accident analysis. The data which we are using, it is a .csv file which we have taken it from the Kaggle website, and the website has n number of dataset, different domains are there, and today we have chosen the accident domain. And the data which we are having, it is in Excel file. I will show you the data as well. Before that, the data which we are using, it's a completely demo data, it's not a real-time data, and we are not taking any data from any organization or any of the government websites. It's completely taken from Kaggle, where we have a dummy data, and I have made some modifications as well in the data. I have cleaned the data as per our use, and then we have used that particular data into our visualization. So you can see this beautiful dashboard. It is completely dynamic and interactive. So at top, if you can see, we have used three filters over here. First one is the current year, next is the previous year, and then we have chosen the severity, that is accident severity. If you choose, we have these three filters. And looking for the overall dashboard, if I explain different components on here, you can see at the top, you can see a title, and then on the left side in vertically arranged, we can see these are the overall KPIs, which gives us total accident, total casualties, and in that casualties, they are subdivided into fatal, serious, and slight casualties. Then we have a small numbers with an arrow showing the year on year increase with respect to current year and with respect to previous year. Similarly, if you can see at the top in the horizontal what in section, we can see there are the casualties by vehicle type, and there are different vehicle types which you can see here, like agricultural vehicles, vans, bus, cars, bicycles or cycles, and these are the other vehicles which data is not mentioned in there. And here also there are some year on year growth values are present in this particular chart as well, which indicates the values with respect to current year and previous year, how they are increasing or decreasing. Then we have two donut charts which gives us based on the casualties by weather condition and by road surface. We have a bar chart which gives us the casualties by road type, and the last one is the map chart which gives us the casualties by location. And so we will see the step by step creation of each and every chart and KPI, how to do this. So I will operate you the dashboard, and you can see the changes made. You can see the current year and previous year. Why we have chosen here is the current year we can choose dynamically how which current year we want to see, and we can analyze our different numbers in this particular dashboard with respect to a dynamic previous year. Let's say like right now by default it is showing current year as 2022 and 2021 as the previous year. Let's say I want to change this current year. I will make it as 2021, and I want to compare it with 2020. All right, so you can see all the values will change with respect to that, and you can compare 2021 with respect to 2020. If you want to see 2019, the what we can say, the area chart here, the sparklines which we have, they will change, and they will give the percentage values as well with respect to that particular year. So I will come back again to 2022, and now right now it is comparing you 2022 and 2019 as a previous year, right? And if you can see the current year right now, all the numbers which we are showing in bold, or right now all the numbers which are there with respect to current year, right? And we can change our current year with respect to our requirement, right? And all the dashboard values will change with respect to that. The last one is the select accident severity. Right now it is chosen as a fatal. When I choose serious, you can see all the values, and the color combination of the dashboard will also change with respect to that particular severity. And you can see there are different uh, titles will also change with respect to whatever the filter we have chosen here. Like here it is the serious, everywhere the serious will, or the name will be changed, so that a user can know, yeah, which like the data is shown for which casualty type, right? So now when I go for slight, you can see the values, the color will again change. And when I select all means nothing but the values or the data will be chosen for all types of severities combinedly, the data will be shown here, and the color combination will also change with respect to that. So I'll go again back to serious. And if you can see, I have also used some action filters over here. So let's say you want to see the data with respect to car only. So when I click on car, you can see the entire dashboard will change, and it will give us the data with respect to car. If you want to see for goods vehicle, when I click on goods vehicle, you can see it will change and it will give us the value for vehicle type as a goods vehicle, right? In this way we will be using our dashboard. Similarly, these are also dynamic. When I click on any part, so you will get the values with respect to that particular weather condition. So I want to see for dry surface, you can see we will be getting it for dry surface. We want to see for different road type, like we want to see how the casualties, serious casualties are there for what we can say dual carriageway road type. So when I click, you can see values will change, and with respect to that we can get the deeper knowledge of this particular data, right? So in this single dashboard you can analyze different things, and you can give your user a different experience to see the data from different angles, right? So this is very important. The data must be seen in different angles, in different what we can say, for different situations and different scenarios, right? So before starting, I will show you what data we are using here. You can see this is an Excel CSV file which has been taken from Kaggle website. Again, I am telling you, it is not a real-time data, it's a dummy data, and we have made some changes as well in that, right? So you can see if you see the size of data, when I click here and if we get the count, it's almost 6 lakh counts is there, right? So it's almost 6.6 lakh, like 0.6 million rows are there. And if you see the columns, we have 14 number of fields, that is which will be used in our particular dashboard design. There are many more I have deleted because we are not using that, and that are not important as well. And yeah, so this is what we have right here. We have a data from, if we can see, the data is from 2019 to 2022. The dates has been also changed. Those are not real time, it's a dummy data again. And there are a number of columns. So first thing first, guys, always remember, whenever you are starting any new visualization, let it be any software like Power BI or Tableau or Excel, as I always tell you, you must study the data first, right? Study of the data is very much important. If you are analyzing your data properly, studying it and finding the granularity of the data, how is the data flowing from higher level to the lower level, your 50 to 60% of work is, or work of visualization is done over there itself. When you study data, you will get an idea like what visualization should be done, what output can be, or what insights can be taken out from this data. And its next part is only you have to use a tool, and you can use any tool. It may be Tableau or ClickSense or Excel, or you are using Power BI. It's just that you have to visually represent it in front of your customer, right? So data will be remain same. Visualization tools will change from like A to Z. Like there are many visualization tools available in market right now. But for today, we will see it in Tableau. And if you like guys are interested to see this particular visualization in apart from other than Tableau, you can mention your views in the comments. If you want the same in Excel or you want it in Power BI, let me know. I will make a video for that as well. So for today, we will be seeing in the Tableau. And before starting, guys, I like this particular thing takes lots of effort, like like searching the data, designing the backgrounds, uh, designing whatever we are doing, some in charts, calculations, many more. So I request one effort from you as well. You can go ahead and like this video, subscribe the channel, and turn on the notification bell if you are learning something good from this particular video series which I am doing here. And it will give me a motivation as well to make many more videos in future as well. All right. So before wasting time, what we will do, I will start designing our dashboard. For that, I have taken already a new sheet, but if you can see here, the data is very much large. And if you want to use the same data, I will put a link from where you can download. So the data is almost of 90 MB. So I will compress it, and then I will paste, like I will add a link here. You can go ahead and you can use any like what we can say, the tool where you can extract your data. And then like the compressed size which I will be using, it will be about for you to download, it will be about 10 MB. And the size when you open it or extract it, it will be about 90 MB, this particular file, because the data is very much big. And then you can use that, right? So we will start our design, and for that I will take a new Tableau workbook. So I will go ahead and open this. So this is my new Tableau workbook which I have taken. So first thing first, what we have to do, we have to connect data. So there is an option here. I will click on this, connect to data. and it, as it is a CSV file, it's a flat file, it's not a Excel file, it's a CSV file. So we have to click on text file, and I have my data here. So this is my data. You just have to click OK, and we have this particular file which will be already, because we have single sheet. So if it doesn't come, you have to drag it from here into your what we can say logical data pane here. So there are two what we can say data pane which we have, or data view which we have here, that is a logical window, and next is what, physical layer and logical layer. So here it is a logical layer where we connect our different tables with the relationship nodal, and when we double click here, we will be using here as joins like inner, left, outer, and uh, whatever we have, right? So now if you can see, if I click on update now, here you can see the data will be viewed, like first 100 rows we can view, and you can see if the data is correctly populated, if there is any error in this particular data, or if any field is not been populated correctly. And then you have a metadata over here. You can check the data types, if correct data type has been assigned to all the fields which we have, like longitude and latitude must be assigned with geographical data type. So it is correctly assigned. You can check if it is not, and you can change with respect to that. And as the data size is very much big, guys, we will be not using live connection, we will use extract connection. The reason behind this is the data is like more than 6 lakhs or zero point 0.6 million. So what will happen if you are using a live connection? Whenever we are building a visuals, Tableau will fire a query to our data set, which is a CSV file, and which will like it will collect, aggregate the data, and it will show us into the visualization. And this takes few seconds, or and it increases the load time in Tableau as well. So what we will do, we will create an extract. When we create extract, then hyperfile file will be created, where Tableau will directly fire query to that particular .tdsx file or hyperfile, where it will query faster and it will give us the result faster, right? It will not go fire the query to our database, that is the CSV file. So we will create an extract connection because the data is big, so that our what we can say visualization should be loaded fastly, and we will be getting the data instantly on our Tableau visualization or Tableau charts. So I will create an extract. So as soon as you hit the sheet 1, so when I click on sheet 1, it will ask you to save your hyperfile. So I will name the change the name as accident data hyperfile. I will name it as hyperfile. Okay, and I will just save it. You can save it anywhere, and then you have to click on sheet 1. So as soon as you click, so it will it will extract all the data which you have in CSV file, and it will store it in what we can say the that particular file, and it will bring us into new sheet, right? So now whenever we are building anything, let's say whenever we are taking an accident date, so what does Tableau do? That Tableau will fire query to that particular hyperfile where data is stored in compressed size, right? It will not stored in actual size. The data will be compressed and stored over there, and it will give us the result faster, and it will be the loading time will be very much higher. The performance of Tableau will increase, right? So this is the reason we have used the extract connection. This is a learning for you. The interview questions are asked on this enormous times, right? So many times the interview question will ask you what is difference between live and extract connection. Perfect. So now we have an accident here. So the first thing first, what we have to do is, if you go, what we will design first is we will design all these KPIs over here. We will design this overall KPIs. We will design the Sparkline for each and every KPI which we have shown here. The first we have to design is the total accident. So I will rename the sheet, and I will name it as total accidents. Perfect. So this is the total accident. Right now what we will do, we will for writing the current, we want the accident year for that current year, right? Or we will be using one filter over here, you can see current year, and we should have a ability to select our dynamic like current year whichever we want or user want, right? So that particular current year, this is actually a parameter. So what we will do, we will click here and we will first create a parameter, and I will name it as current year. All right. So now what I have to do, I have to choose a data type, and I will choose it as integer, because those numbers are actually 2021, 2022. Those are integer forms, right? And right now what we want it as a list, and I want to take it from actually the year. We want that particular year should be dynamic. Let's say right now we have a data until 2022. So whenever new data is added and we get a new year, that is 2023, we don't have to go into that parameter and edit the parameter and add our for a parameter value manually, that is 2023. So what we can do, we can choose our parameter dynamic in such a way that whenever a new year is added, the parameter will update automatically, where that particular value or that year will come into that parameter automatically, and we can use that particular parameter value. So for that, what we can do, if we have to choose a list and we have to take it from that particular, add values from that field, but we are not seeing that accident date here, right? So what we have to do, if we choose a date as a data type, and you can see you will get an accident year date here, but you can see your date is in the form of full date, right? Or you can see it's from ranging from the first date of 2019 up to end of that particular 2022. We want year to be selected, right? So what we will do for that, we have to write first calculation. So I will go ahead and write here a calculation field, and I will name it as year of accident date. Okay, so here I will write function as year, and I just have to extract the accident date here, right? So I will right click here, year of accident, and click on OK. So when I'm bringing this into rows, you can see, and I will just make it as discrete. So it is giving us a sum, but when I take it into text, and let's say first what we will do, first we will convert this into discrete, convert this to discrete, and then convert this to dimension. Okay, and when I bring this into rows, you can see we are getting year as 2019 to 2022. So the thing is here, like whenever a new year will be added into this accident date, so this calculation will update and it will show us as 2023. Now we will go ahead and create our parameter, and we will name it as current year. Alright. And we will want it as integer, and we want it from a list value, and we will choose it from year of accident date. You can see automatically whatever the data this particular field is having, that is year of accident date, all the values will be populated, or it is taking the value from that particular field, and you can see all the values here, right? And this is the value, and whatever the display value will be there, that is in front of a user, in front of as an UI, what you in front end, what you will be displayed 2019, but you can see there is a comma here. So what we will do, we will just delete the comma from each of the values, right? So I will just delete that particular comma. Perfect, right? And what should be the current value? So the current value for current year, it should be the latest value, so we will choose it at 2022. What does current value means? That whenever you will close the workbook and you will open it again, the 2022 will be the default value for this particular parameter, right? So this is the current year. I will just click on OK. You can see the parameter has been created over here. So I will just right click and I will duplicate it, because we want the same parameter values for previous year, right? So I will just duplicate it and I will edit this parameter, and instead of current year, we will name it as previous year. All right, so this is previous year, and whenever the workbook will open, the current value should be less than 1 as compared to current year. So if current year is 2022, current value for previous year it should be 1 year back, that is 2021. And this is all the same because we are taking the value from year of accident date, which is dynamic. And we will click on OK. Perfect. So we have our two parameters, and now we will start and design our total accident KPI or develop. And so we will just click on new calculation and we will name it as current year accidents. All right. And in this case, we have to write the calculation dynamically in such a way that whenever the current year is chosen, that particular value should be updated dynamically. So for that, what we will do, I will be using an if condition. If year of accident date, if year of accident date is equal to current year, okay, if it is equal to current year, then we want and index. Okay, so index is nothing but whatever this index which we have here, this index is nothing but the index given to our data set, right? So if you can see, I will show you the data here. So this is the index, and this is unique number for each and every row, right? So it is unique number for each and every row, so we will be using here, and we want it to be closed, right? So this is our calculation, and what we want the aggregation as count. So we want count of all this, so I will put an aggregation as count, and we will open and close parenthesis, we will add to this particular calculation. I will just click OK, and I will take this and bring it into visualization. So you can see these are the total current year accidents. And when I click on this parameter and I click on show parameter, so whenever I'm changing it to 2021, you can see the accident value will be changing with respect to that selected parameter, right? So because we have what calculation we have written here is, when I click on edit, the year of accident date should be equal to current year. So whichever current year we will be choosing here, let's say right now it is 2022, so it will go ahead and ask this particular accident date should be equal to 2022. When we choose it as 2021, it will go ahead and change this accident date to 2021, and it will give us the count of this particular index into this particular visualization. I hope you have understood this. So if you understood this, the previous year is very much simple. Just click on OK. And next what we will do, I will just duplicate this calculation. We will be using same calculation. I will click on edit, and instead of current year accident, I will mention here as previous year accidents, right? And instead of current year, this previous year accident should be operated by using previous year parameter, this parameter which we have already designed. And I will just click on OK. And these are the previous year accidents. When I bring this into text, and I will show this parameter, and whenever I'm operating this, you can see the value, that is second value is changing, that is for previous year, right? So in this way we have created our total accidents. The next thing what we have to determine is the year on year change in our total accidents. So for year on year change, I will write one more a calculation. I will name it as year on year accidents, right? And the formula, we know that for to determine the year on year growth, we take like current year sales or current year accidents minus previous year accidents, and total divided it by previous year accidents. So first we will take as current year accidents, and I will just add a parenthesis here, open your parenthesis. So current year accidents minus previous year accidents, sorry, it should be previous year accidents, and divided by previous year accidents. All right. So this is the calculation we will be using. I will just click on OK, and I will bring this into text. And you can see with when we are comparing 2022 with respect to 2021, the year-on-year growth of accident is minus 11%, right? So we have to convert it into percentage. And you can see that if it is decreasing, the accident are decreasing year on year. So first value which we see here, it is for current year, that is for 2022, and the second is for 2021. So the current year accident has been reduced with respect to last year. And if it is reducing in this particular case, it is good for us, or it is good for that particular country or state or government, because if the accidents are reducing, it is good thing, right? So accidents are reducing means we do not have vehicle damages, no casualties are there, right? So this is good. And what we can do for this particular thing, that is year on year accident, I will go ahead and change its default properties, right? So I will change the default properties of field itself. So whenever we have to right click on this year on year accident, then you have to go in default properties, and you have to click on number format, and we will write here our own custom format, right? And in this custom format, what I will write is, you want here an upper arrow to be displayed. So what we will do, first I will write a 0.00, and we want it to be displayed as percentage. Why 0.00? Because we want 2 decimal points, and we will add a semicolon, and again 0.00 percentage. Okay. So first one is for positive, and second is for negative. So I will just click on OK. You can see it has been converted to 11.70 percentage, but it is negative. It is not showing a negative because for both positive and negative, we have chosen it as, it should be as 0.00 and 0.00, not negative or not positive. So what we have to do, we have to add arrow over here, right? So if you can see in our dashboard, you have to use this down arrow or up arrow. If it is going down, like if it is negative, we should add a down arrow, and if it is positive, we should add a up arrow. So for that, what we will do, I will just open an Excel file over here. So we have a new Excel file, and I will go in insert. Then you have to go in symbols over here, right? If you click on symbols, in insert, you have to find this particular symbols, right? Up arrow and down arrow. And if you want to use some another arrows, you can use that as well, doesn't matter. So I will just click on this and I will click on insert, then I will click on this and I will click on insert, and I will close this, and I will copy this, Control C. I will come back to our W, and I will just again right click on this particular, go into number format, and I will paste it over here, Control V. Okay, and for this particular I will just Control X this, and I will add it in front of this, right? So whenever it is positive, it will show it us the value in up arrow. Whenever it is negative, it will show it in the form of downward arrow, right? So it is negative right now, so when we click on OK, you can see a downward arrow is added to this particular what we can say KPI. So now we will design our KPI with respect to the font we want. The previous year accidents, we are not showing this, so I will just delete this. I will click on apply, and the name which we want to display here, it is a total accidents. Okay, and for this I will make it as 12, and I will make it as semi bold, and I will choose the color as let's say this. Okay, and for this I will choose it as white, or for now we'll just click it as black only, so you can see the numbers what we are designing here. And I will choose it as 20, and we will be using as Tableau bold. Similarly here you will be using this particular color, so this particular color, and I will choose this again, and I will make it as a 9, and I will choose it as Tableau bold. Click on apply, okay, and next I will just change it alignment to center, and I will change to entire view. So you have designed this. So one more thing here you have to change here is I will add a text over here, that is year on year, and okay, right? So this was our first KPI, that is total accidents, and this is what year on year, what we can say, it is decreasing year on year with respect to last year. Perfect. So this is our first. Now what we will do, we will just duplicate this sheet, and we will be using the same formatting. So I will just duplicate this, and next what we want to determine is the total casualties. So I will name it as casualties. Spelling is wrong. Okay, so this is what total casualties, right? Now what we have to do is we have to write one more calculations, and I will name it as current year casualties. Okay, so now in this case we have to determine the current year casualties. So how can we determine this, right? So I will write one more formula for this. If year of accident date, same formula we will be using. If year of accident date is equal to current year, okay, that is parameter, then we want, okay, so from the casualties will be taken from this particular field, that is number of casualties. I will just bring it here, or you can type it. So if this particular current year is equal to accident date, then we want an output for that particular year selected as number of casualties, and we will end this. Okay, and we are not using any aggregation here. If you want, you can. So let's say we will be using sum here, because we want the sum of casualties, and I will just close this, and I will click on OK. And if you bring this, and I will replace this particular by current year. Okay, so you can see I will just remove the previous year accidents. So you can see these are the current year casualties. I will change this, and I will name it as total casualties, right? Apply, okay. And the value which we are showing here, it is not a correct value, it is a year on year accident value. We want to change it to current year on year casualties, right? So but to determine year on year casualties, first we have to determine previous year casualties. So I will just right click this, and I will duplicate this, and I will just edit this, and we will name it as previous year casualties, and I will just delete this as well, and instead of current year we want it to be changed by using previous year. All other things will be same. I will just click on OK, and this is our previous year casualties. Now we have to determine a year on year casualties increase or decrease, that is year on year growth for casualties. So I will just use the same calculations which we have here. Why we are using the same? Because whenever we are duplicating this, the number of formatting which we have used, right, that is increase or decrease, it will be same, right? So I will just right click here and I will duplicate this, and we will edit this, and I will name it as, instead of year on year accident, we'll be using year on year casualties, and instead of current year accident we will be using here current year casualties. Similarly, here will be your previous year casualties, similarly here as well, and we just click on OK, and we will take this and put over here. You can see the value has been changed to 11.89. So first, what was that initially? If you can see, so right now if I change this to 2021, so it was 11.70 for this current year, that is for total accident with respect to 2022 and 2021. Similarly, again, casualties for 2022 and 2021 is 11.89. Whenever you are changing this, it will change, right? You can see percentage has been changed, but current year, if you are keeping it as same, this is the value for current year. Whenever I'm changing the current year, the current year value will be changed. So now see, if current year and previous year if is same, you will get a 0% of year on year increase. Why? Because current year and previous year you are choosing it as same, so growth is not there, because in as per our formula everything will be 0. Perfect. So if you are changing, let's say you want to compare it to 2019, you can see the value will be changing. Similarly, parameter, whichever parameter we are using here, a parameter use universal for entire workbook, right? If that particular parameter used in any of the calculations, always remember, if you are changing the value on this sheet for this parameter, the same parameter values will be applied to the second sheet, because it is a universal field. Parameter is a universal field which will be applied to entire workbook. This is an interview question which will be asked, right? So when I will again choose current year as 2022 and previous year as 2021, similarly it will be changed over here as well. You can see 2022 and 2021, because it is not a sheet level, it's at workbook level. Perfect. Right, this was the total casualties. I will again duplicate this, and right now we want to find out next one is what? Fatal casualties, right? So I will just click here and I will name it as fatal casualties. Fatal means worst situation, like there was whatever casualties were there in that accident, those are very serious or highly serious, right? Right, now the next one is what? The fatal casualties, and in this, the fatal casualty, the fatal particular type of severity, accident severity will be coming from this particular field. You can see here, for this field we have three types of severity, that is fatal, serious and slight. Okay, and from here we will be using this particular what we can say, or we will be determining our values. And I will take a new calculation field for this, and I will name it as current year fatal casualties. Okay, and for this I will write a calculation, as we want the sum of this as well. So if accident severity, okay, so right now we want, because the accident severity have three values. Now if it is equal to fatal, right, if it is equal to fatal, always remember, whatever spelling or the string which you are writing here, it should be of same spelling and same whatever upper cap, lower caps, whatever case is there, it should be same whatever it is there in this particular field, right? So it is like first letter is capital and all others are in lowercase, right? If it is equal to fatal, and we want one more condition over here, that is, if accident year, that is year of accident date, it is equal to current year, then we want number of casualties, right? Because we are finding the fatal casualties, and we will end this and we will close the parenthesis for sum. Okay, so we have error here, so one more parenthesis is required, that is here. Perfect. So I will just click on OK. So instead of this current year, I will take this and I will just replace it over. You can see, you can just place it over here. Okay, if you cannot do that, you can remove everything and you can just add one by one here. So now we can see the current year fatal casualties are 2855 for current year 2022, and we will change the name here, that is fatal casualties. We want it as fatal casualties. apply. Okay, so now we want to find year on year increase as well. The next thing what we will do, we have to first find out the previous year fatal casualty. So I will just right click and I will duplicate this, and we can edit this, and instead of here we will change the name as previous year, and instead of current year we will be using here as previous year. Perfect. Click on OK, and now we will find the year on year fatal casualty. So I will just duplicate this. So whenever you are duplicating this, whatever default properties which we have said, that is lower arrow and upper arrow, it will be same for this, right? So you don't have to change it again and again, that particular. So you just have to duplicate this. If you are not duplicating, then you have to go ahead and change your number format again. Perfect. So we'll just edit this, and we'll just delete, and we will name it as year on year fatal casualties. So instead of current casualties, we will name it as current year fatal casualties. Similarly here as well, current year fatal, previous year fatal, here as well, previous year fatal. Perfect. So I will just click on OK, and you can take this and you can replace this particular thing. So you can see it is 26%. So the value has been decreased 26% as compared to the last year, that is previous year 2021. So it is a good thing. If the accident casualties, number of accident, if they are decreasing, it is a good thing, right? If it is increasing, then it's a thing like we should worry, right? The next one, we have determined the fatal casualties. Next we have to determine the serious casualties. Perfect. So just duplicate this, and we will rename this as serious casualties. Just this. Same thing again we have to repeat. I will just duplicate this calculation for us for current year, and I will just edit this, and instead of fatal we will be using here as serious. Okay, and instead of fatal we will change here as serious. Okay, perfect. All other thing for current year will be same, the logic will be same. We will just click on OK, and we will take this and we will just place it over here. So the serious casualties which were made were 27,045. So always remember, the spell mistake should not be done. Whatever the name we have, same should be entered in our calculations. Like serious spelling, same, whatever uppercase, lowercase, same should be there in our calculations. Next one is slide. You can record your whatever the name which we have, you can write it on a paper, or you can copy it from here as well. So next one is slide. But before that, we have to find out the year on year increase, right? So now we will change the name as well here. Instead of fatal, we will name it as serious, and we'll just click on OK. And we have to find out the previous year serious casualties. So I will just duplicate these, and we will edit this, and we will name it as previous year. And just will tilt this, and here I will change this to previous year. We will just click on OK, and after that we have to determine the, I will just duplicate this, and we will find out the year on year, and we will change this to serious. Perfect. So instead of fatal, we will change here serious. All other calculation will remain same. Just click on OK. Take this and place it over here. So you can see it has changed to 16.30. Next and last, we will just duplicate this, and we will find it for slight casualties. Oh, perfect. All right, so we will just change this, and we will name it as slight. Just click on OK. And next thing what we will do, we will take this fatal, and we will duplicate this for current year. Edit this, change this name to slight, delete this, and we will name this as, instead of fatal, we will choose here as slight. Okay, make sure no spell mistakes are there. We'll just click on OK, take this current year slight and place it over here. You can see slight casualties number is high. There are not so many fatal or serious casualties were done during a road accident. So this is a good thing, but we still have to reduce this as well, right? So that care should be taken with respect to that. And we should find out the previous year as well. So we will just edit this, and we will we have to first duplicate this, duplicate, and then we will edit this and we will mention this as previous year. And instead of current year, we will be using here as previous year. And we will just click on OK. And so for year on year, we will just take this and we will duplicate this and we will edit this. And instead of series, we will be using here slide. So change the calculation also. We should use all the slide current year and previous year calculations. For casualties, just click on OK. Take this and place it on this. Okay, so you can see it is 10.82% with respect to this filters or parameters, right? So we have designed all our KPIs. Next we have to design is our Sparklines. Okay, so if you design once one Sparkline, everything will be similar for the next one. Perfect. To develop the Sparkline, we will take a new sheet and I will rename it as, first we have to find out the accident Sparkline. All right, and the Sparkline which we are using here, it is a monthly trend which we will be showing for current year and previous year. So in this case, the previous year will be our area chart and the current year numbers or whatever we will be showing the current year monthly trend, it should be shown in the line chart. All right, so now for that, to show monthly trend, obviously we will need one date field. So I will take this particular date field and I will put it into the columns. Okay, so I will just have put it into columns. I will right click and I will choose month as our date part. All right, and if you are choosing, this is the discrete month which I have chosen, and you will be seeing values from January to December. And instead of standard view, I will just choose it as entire view. All right, the next thing what we have to do is we have to take the current year accidents and you have to put it into the rows. You can see you have a trend of the accident month wise, right? So if you can see in January there were around 9,967 accidents, and in December it's around 9625. All right, now next what we have to do is we have to take previous year accident and I will put again this into the rows. You can see there are two sections of visualizations have been divided. One is for current year and this is for previous year. The next thing we will be making this as a dual axis. So I will just click on previous year accidents fill and I will just make it as dual axis. All right, so before doing anything, always remember to synchronize your axis, because the axis which we are showing in a dual axis chart, they should be starting from, or it should start from same value and end at same value. You can see it's starting for previous year, it's starting from 0 to 16, and for current it's from 0 to 14. So we have to synchronize this. So first I will right click here and I will click on synchronize axis, right? So both the axes are now having same values and they are sharing same axis. I will just right click here and I will click on show header. So I will uncheck this and you can see this has been hidden, and this for this same we will hide this as well. The next thing what we have to do, I will just hide this as well. We don't want this too. And right now what we have, like we will be showing previous year in as area chart. So I will click on previous year accident fill and I will just make it as area chart. So you can see this has been area chart, and you can see, if you can see, whenever I'm clicking on this this particular, when I'm trying to see the values of current year which is a line chart, you can see I'm not able to see or see that values in tooltip as well, and it's not selecting, it's only selecting, you can see only one point is selected, that is for previous year. So what is happening is that this particular line chart is behind this particular area chart, so we want it to be in front of this area chart. So what we will do, we will just swap this pill. So I will just take current year and I will swipe this and I will put it into the right side of previous year. Perfect. So you can see this particular line is now highlighting, and you can see we can choose this particular, and we can go ahead and see this particular values, and you can see it is now selected. Perfect. The next thing what we will do, we will change the colors of this. I will just take this here and I will just double click on this and we will change the colors. So for current year I will be using this color, so just select this and use this color, and for previous year we will be using this color. So I'll just click on apply and click on OK. So you can see this is our previous year, that is area chart, and this is our current year, that is our line chart. The next thing what we will be doing here is you have to click on all marks card and we will change the tooltip. So always remember, you have to format your tooltip always. Tooltip plays a very important role, and it should look very much what we can say visually appealing, and it should relate very much high amount of information, right? Because whenever you are hovering anything on to that particular part of your visualization, it will give you some information. So always make your tooltip better. So I will just convert it into to medium, and I will make it as a 9, and I will just click on OK. So now we can see tooltip is showing a good information, that is, this is what is the month of accident. It is January, and it is showing the previous year accident as this value. Whenever I'm clicking on this, it will show us the current year accidents, right? Because we are not showing any labels here, so tooltip plays an important role here. All right. The next thing what I will do, I will just change the labels which we have here. So I will just right click here and I will click on format, and instead of full name, I will just use the first letter. Okay, so we will be using only first letter for that is January, February, March to December. Perfect. So one is done. The next things are very much easy to do. So we will just right click and we will duplicate this, and we will name it as, instead of accident, we will name it as casualties Sparkline, and this will be for total, right? So now instead of accidents number, we will be using here current year casualties. I will just please take this and I will put it onto our current year casualties, right? So I will just, whenever I am dropping it onto this, you can see the values will change. Similarly, instead of previous year accidents, I will take previous year casualties and I will place it over here, right? And next thing, you have to always see if this synchronize axis tick mark is there or not. It should be always tick. If it is not, you have to select that and make it, or you have to activate that what we can say uh, synchronize axis button, right? The next thing what I will do, I will just unclick headers here as well. All other things, you can see the tooltip will also be copied, because we are uh, taking that particular duplication of that particular chart. So you can see previous year accidents and casualties, we have to change the tooltip here, guys. Okay, so instead of previous year accidents, we will be using here casualties. So current year casualties and previous year casualties. I'll just click here. I will just copy this, paste it over here, so that our formatting will be same, and I will name it as current year casualties. Just Control C, Control V, and here we will name it as previous year. We'll just click on OK. So now you can see casualties are there for current year and for previous year. Perfect. So this is our current year and previous year casualties. So for the next chart, what I will do, I will not design the, what we can say, the tooltip. I have shown you how to design the tooltip. You have to go in all marks and you have to delete the first, whatever we have copied it from first sheet, and you have to add our current years, whatever the sheet you are making of that particular Sparkline. Then next what I will do is just I will duplicate this again, and instead of total casualties, we want it for fatal casualties. Perfect. So I will just delete this, and instead of previous year fatal casualties, I will take previous year total casualties. I will take previous year fatal casualties, and I will just take it and drop it over here, so it will be replaced. Similarly for this as well, for current year casualties, we will replace it by current year fatal casualties. I will take it and drop it over here, and check again if it is synchronized. Yes, it is synchronized, so we'll just uncheck these headers. Perfect. So again, you have to go ahead and change your you have to go in all marks card and you have to change your tooltip over here, right? So instead of this particular thing, you have to take your current year fatal casualties, and it should not be in red, it should be black. Similarly here as well, delete this and add your previous year fatal casualties, and it should be black. And instead of current year, we have to mention it as fatal over here. Similarly here as well. Click on OK. You can see your tooltip has been correctly showing, right? The next, you will just duplicate this again, and I will name it as serious. So we will replace our pills for previous year fatal. We will replace it by previous year serious casualties, and for current year, we will replace it by this. check whether it is synchronized. Yes, show and check your headers. Again, I will not show you how to design the tooltip again. You can do it later or you can do it on your own. I will just skip this part and I will just duplicate this, and instead of serious I will make it as slide. Perfect. So instead of this we will replace this, and for this we will use this. It's synchronized, show and check headers. Perfect. And we will save this. Well, I will save it later. Alright, so we have created our sparklines as well. And what we will do into our next video, I will show you how to bring this background into this particular Tableau dashboard. And we will start placing our whatever we have designed our KPIs into our dashboard, as well as in next video we will place these particular things into our dashboard, and next we will start designing our remaining charts and remaining KPIs. After creating all the KPIs and all the sparklines related to those KPIs, we will start placing this into our dashboard. So for that I will click on this particular second icon which we have a new dashboard, and I will click here, and you can see the new dashboard has been opened. So I will use the custom size for my dashboard, and you can use your own size whichever you want as per your screen resolution, but I recommend it to use this one. So I will name this as the width for me will be 16,000, and I will choose the height as 9,900. Okay, so this is the pixel size for me. And the next thing is like if you can see in my already built dashboard, I have used a background image here. So this image or the layout here, it is a custom layout which has been built in PowerPoint. So we will be using the same background image. And if you can see in my PowerPoint, I have already built this, and so I have created a video how to build this particular backgrounds, and I will mention the link for you to see, and you can step by step follow the same thing, and you can prepare the backgrounds in such a way. So I have not prepared the same exact background, but I have prepared it for another dashboard, which is the HR dashboard. You might have seen that. If you haven't, I will mention the link for that as well. And in that video I have shown the complete tutorial on how to make a background for your desktop, sorry, for your dashboard. So this here you can see I have chosen this layout. This is prepared completely in PowerPoint, and for like for your for variety I have added some more backgrounds for as well. So this is the first which we will be using in our video. So this is one more combination which is gold and black combination. So this is one purple and black combination. This is an a dark blue or navy blue combination as well, right? So you can use any of this if you want, or you can use the same one which I have used. The next thing what you have to do is after so I will mention the link for this PPT as well for you to download. And next thing, you have to go in file, then you have to click here on save as. So once you click on save as, you have to choose a folder where you want to save it. And next, save as type, that is extension, you have to choose it as JPEG file, right? So you can see a JPEG file. So this is nothing but you will be saving this particular dashboard in the form of image. So when I click on save, it will ask us to if you want all slide to be saved as an image or you want only this particular slide. So I will just click on this one, but as when I click or when I hit this button, it will be saved as an image format, but I have already created this particular image and I have saved it, so I will not create double. So you can follow these steps, and I will show you the one which I have created or saved, not this one, this. Okay, so you can see this will be your saved image. If you see when you open it in the form of PowerPoint or any image viewer software, you can see this type of a background has been saved from that particular PPT, and now this we will be importing into our Tableau dashboard. So I will open our dashboard, and what we will do, I will take one horizontal vertical container and I will just place it over here. Okay, so this is the vertical container which has been placed, and next in that particular vertical container I will take image type and I will place it over here. Okay, so this is what image object I will take, and I will just drag and release it in that particular container. and you have to say fit image center image, and I will choose this particular image. So whichever image, the name file you have saved, you have to choose this particular image, and I have to click on open and OK. So you can see it has been a perfect fit into our dashboard, which we have size which we have taken. So this is a PowerPoint size only, so it looks good. You can take any other size as well, pixel size, and it will be perfectly fit into that particular size as well, right? So this was for us. Now we have brought our background into our dashboard, so this is how it looks. The next thing what we have to do is we will start bringing our KPIs over here, right? So now to bring a KPI, instead of tiled, I will make it as now floating first. So you have to follow how I'm doing. First I will choose this as floating, that is container type. First I will choose as floating, then I will take a one vertical container and I will try to place it over here. Okay, so this is a vertical container. Then I will go in layout, and in layout I will choose its size. I will choose the width for it as 410, and I will choose the height for it as 110, that is 1110. So this is the container which we have taken, and I will try to place it exactly center into this particular background image shape, right? So this is our vertical container. Next what we will do, first thing we have to place is our total accident sheet into this particular vertical container. But before placing that, instead of floating, we have to now convert it into tiled. Okay, convert this into tile, because we have to move these sheets into this particular container which we have placed here. So once you have chosen tiled, then I will take this sheet and I will drag and put it into this. So when you take this mouse by dragging onto this container, you can see it is grayed out. It means that it will be putting this, or it will be adjusting our sheet into this particular container. So, and I will release this. Okay, so it has been like perfect fit into our this particular container. So now next you can see there are some parameters which is going outside of this background and taking a place here somewhere, and it is disturbing our background. So what we will do, we will select this and close this. Okay, and it is asking us to delete container. Yes, we want to delete this because we don't want anything outside of this particular background. Next thing what I will do, the title which we will be using, I will just go ahead and hide this title. Okay, so we have just hidden the title. Next thing what we will do, we will take our total accident Sparkline as well. So we have this Sparkline, make it as tiled only, so it should be tiled only. So take this Sparkline and bring again into this particular container. So you can see whenever there is a right, when you take it to the right, the some portion of that particular container is grayed out, and when we take here, it is grayed out. So what does it mean? That it will be placing your sheet to the left, to the right, to the top, or the bottom. Do we want it to the right? So I will just click on the right, and this is grayed out, you can see, and I will just release this. Okay, so again some major names have been can. I will again delete this and delete the containers. Okay, the next thing what I will do, I will just hide this title again, and here you have a adjusting bar for these two sheets. You can see this bar is there. Next I will just select this particular first sheet, and you can see there is one handle is there over here, and I will just double click on this handle. So what will happen, this entire particular external first vertical container which we have placed, it will be selected, and from here you have to go and you have to select the distribute content evenly. If you are not finding that, okay, if you can't do that, select this particular sheet. You can select this or this, you have to just select this. Okay, so then you have to go into this drop down and you have to click here, select container horizontal. You have to just select this container horizontal, and you have to go into this drop down and you have to hit this button, that is select content evenly. What does this does, that this two sheet will be taking an equal space into this particular horizontal container which we have placed initially, right? The next thing is remaining is just formatting. So I will just right click here and I will click on format. Then you have to go into this particular shading option, and for worksheet you have to say it as none. Okay, similarly you have to go in, you have to select this particular sheet as well. You have to select the worksheet and you have to say it none. Okay, means what, you are just removing the background of that particular sheet, right? Then I will again select this. You can see there are lines are available here, right? So there are some grid lines available, so we will remove everything. First we will go into this border section, and into sheet we will remove row dividers and we will remove column dividers. Okay, and next is grid lines. So next you have to go into this particular lines. You have to say zero lines as none, you have to say axis sticks as none, and you have to go into rows and you have to say grid lines as none. Okay, So now you can see our chart is perfectly clean now. So I will just select this and again click here. The next thing is what this particular number should be white in color, right? So because it should be eye catching and we are making it as white. So I will just select this sheet. I will go it into this sheet, then I will click on text. Okay, when I click on text, there is a here you have to click here, then select this particular thing, that is KPI value, and make it white. Click on apply. Okay, so on this sheet, because the background of sheet is also white, so you will not see the number here, but it is actually present. When you click on this, it will you can see the number is present over here. Then you have to go into our dashboard. You can see this has been converted to white. Similarly, here we will click on format, and then we have here the font for this particular what we can say axis for the date names or month names. I will just take this color for this, and instead of 8 I will choose at 9. I will choose it as 8. Perfect. And if you want, you can change to this. No, you don't want any shading here. Just clear this first. Choose it as first letter 8, and we will choose at this color. Perfect. Right. So in this way, we have placed our first KPI. I hope you understood how to place the first KPI. For the next KPIs, what I will do, I will just fast forward my video because we will be doing the same procedure again. So I will show you once again for this KPI, and the remaining three I will do the fast forward. So once you are done this with this KPI or placing this KPI into our sheet or a dashboard, next what you have to do after doing this, it is tiled. Now you have to again convert this to floating. Okay, make sure you have converted this again to floating. Take this horizontal container and place it again over here. Okay, go to layout, change its width to 410 and height as 110, right? And place it at the center of the shape, right? Then once this is done, again go into our dashboard, convert this again to tiled, and now bring your KPIs over here. So first we will bring casualties, and next what we will do, we will take our casualty sparkline and we will place it over here. So now we will delete this because we don't want this container. And next we will just select this particular sheet. We will just double click over here and we will see distribute contents evenly. We will hide the titles and we will format this. Go in sheet, say none. Similarly here as well, say none, and we will remove the rows as well. Go into sheet, none. Similarly here as well, none. Go into the lines, we will remove the 0 lines, we will remove the axis ticks, and we will remove the grid lines as well. Perfect. And for here we will go into this, select this, or we will just right click here, format, and we will choose it as 8 and this particular. Perfect. So we will make this as well white. Perfect. So in this way you have to place your KPIs. So the next I will just fast forward and you can follow me, or you can do it on your own.